And we are live. Thank you for tuning into Wandering Sword Shop Talk. Today we have Spencer.
That way.
And Kyle.
Oh, I'm supposed to say my name. And me, Kyle.
Either or, one of you guys.
And
last but not least, awesome.
Hi, friends.
We'll get it down eventually. We're always kind of slow to get things done, but thank you guys for tuning in. We're happy to see you. And we have an interesting show for you today.
Spencer, hold on. We're getting tons of echo.
Nope.
Oh, let me see.
I got no echo.
Are you still echoing now? I've got no echo.
No? It's unreal. Hold on,
Oh, Jesus, he died.
Oh, it died again. So, believe it or not, we're always checking in. We have a whole 45 minutes before we do this. So we're trying to work on our stuff. It was doing fine before.
Everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, every single time. Gosh dang, Fire Nation. So we've been having a lot of things going on. I've been traveling all over the country, not lately. We talked about before. We had the pro fight that we had over in Dallas. I was over in San Francisco lately, dealing with one of our great friends, Christine. She's over normally in the UK, but she came to San Francisco. We did a photo shoot. We had lots of things coming up and lots of other things coming. How are you now, Kyle?
Now I'm good. That was weird.
Excellent. That's all right. Technology is weird things. So first of all, we're going to break it up with our joke of the day. And Adam had a great joke today. So Adam, you go ahead and tell your joke.
Oh, no. All right. Well, I was sitting here at my computer and I was working on a project and I thought to myself, I think I really only know 25 letters of the English language.
25, but there's 26, bro. Which one do you not know?
I don't know why.
You don't. Boo. Anyway, so we're keeping up that way. Thank you for our jokes. We're going to start it off with our sharing. We're going to show you our director's cut of the week, and then we'll also go into what we're going to be talking to today, the gross messer.
Yes.
So let me get that through. While I'm getting that, guys, on, go ahead
Why
and
is
riff.
it gross?
I mean,
it's pretty.
It's German for big, but you know, in English, it's like the disgusting knife. Disgusting mess.
Why don't they call him the icky mess? Oh, we'll move on.
We'll move on. All right. So without further ado, we will be showing you our director's cut on the gross messer. Enjoy.
Love the costume.
But that shot, that's my favorite. Just the meh. Be gone, sir. Yep, that one.
Bye. Also, bye.
So, I have a question about the test cuts.
Sure. Go ahead.
What's up, dude?
So, I'm looking at this piece of equipment, and obviously the messer was designed to be used against an armored opponent. I mean, why else would you have a blade with that much mass?
That's interesting. Some German cultures, not everyone had armor-wise.
Yeah, so, I don't know if it necessarily was supposed to be against armored people, because it was used by a lot of people without armor as like a everyday carry type of weapon.
But was that a gross messer? Was that the big messer, or was that the smaller, arguably knife messer?
That's tougher to say.
That one is marketed as the gross messer. It was. Right. Now there's always bigger, because once again, when we look at sword stuff, it's always different for who the person is. Me having
Right.
a gross messer is not as gross as Kyle's messer, or it's less gross than Kyle's messer. It's weird when you say this gross now. It's not as big as Kyle's messer. This isn't getting any better.
That was the less weird version.
That didn't make it better. Hold on.
Anyway, the size of the weapon depends on the person. So it'd be gross for somebody else, but not as equally gross. In German combat, there were many times.
Messer.
Yeah, and that would be really gross for that kid, but it might be like really small for it's like that's not so gross for a big.
Well,
kid.
and if we check out some of the manuals too, a lot of the guys seen fighting each other, they're not wearing armor. So it could go either way. It could be that it's because it's striking, chopping blows. Those work better against no armor than they do against armor, where the thrust kind of becomes the king.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me to look at this weapon and how it's designed, as it is such a wedge-shaped body. Like the cross section is very wedge, not so much like your diamond, like we were talked about in some of the single-handed sword stuff. That, at least to me, makes me feel like this was designed for chopping something substantial. Whereas,
very true.
Fighting somebody unarmored, why are you going with something so heavy or something with such mass to the body, unless it's also being used as a parrying weapon?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it also could be when it was used. So this thing came in around like the 1400s, early 1400s, and then it really hit its stride in the 1500s in like some of the examples we have, Spencer, if you want to bring the photos up, they're from 1500 and 1510. And when we get towards then, like guns are coming into play, like people dress like lance connects, like Spencer did in the video. So we get like all kinds of different people as the armor fades out.
Almost a little bit smaller, but not as gross.
See, now this to me feels like a dueling weapon.
Yeah, this one I found on a like it's a training tool, and it looks to me like cutlass. Like it looks like saber technique is going to be in play here.
And as you already covered it, Luke, thanks for tuning in as well. Thanks, Will. Thank you, Gingerbread Man, Avery, for tuning in. When you already covered this, but when was the messer a thing? You were saying around the 1400s, you said?
We see some of the first examples. Go and bring the other photos up. I have real messer one.
Which one would you
messer, both.
What number is it?
1500 and 1510. So we've got like two close together samples that are really good examples of their time period.
Okay, so you want to bring up the
real messer.
What number photo was it?
It's called real messer, is what I named it. You'll see it in the big group.
Cool. Pardon the technical difficulties while we come there. Keep on going though.
Interesting. So it looks like to me. So I didn't get a chance to get a grip on this early as I wanted to. But there's a couple things that fall in the same category of size, not the gross messer, but the messer itself, the shorter, again, big knife messer.
The machete.
The machete, which actually is a very logical following of the German war knife, which was a very early, like 200 AD weapon, which is interesting to me because culturally, I find that a lot of those things just kind of travel, right? So if you look at the very, very early concepts of swordsmanship in Japan, and you look at then the extrapolated understanding of swordsmanship and how they went to two swords for a lot of people, and then a lot of people went to the giant two-hand, like the one you like to carry. Spencer.
The Nodachi.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pull up the gross messer. It's showing it right now, but it's not.
We'll get there. It's just funny to see that like a tool trained long enough becomes a weapon, and then refined as a weapon into a weapon of war.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part where we talk about once again with sizes. It depends on the size of the person, depends on how much metal you have. All these things come into effect. And and
then bladesmiths of the time, there was a lot of information that they had that we have now that they didn't have then. Why you would specifically do blacksmithing in such a way, why you would throw it in the hay in between heatings to add carbon. We know that now. Or now we just add the carbon as adding carbon.
They just knew it worked. They didn't
They know that,
necessarily know.
My great grandfather dropped it in the hay and it made the best sword he's ever made. So now every time I put it in the hay, because I want a better sword. Because more hay means better swords.
That reminds me of like modern sports fans.
Hey, sword, hey.
That like you have to have the same ritual for every game or the Colts won't win again.
Right. They're like, well, I wore my hat and my special winning Colts underwear for that one time they won in '96.
Now they'll always win if I do that.
But if I forget, there's no way they're gonna win. You live in Canada? Like, why? You're not. It's like you're down the street. Like, I don't know. But there's superstitious stuff that goes involved, right?
So it's being
So we're having
so it's being
technical
done. I'm gonna try to
difficulties.
just close
Oh, and all
the
we're
back up while we
Hey,
talk about the one.
there's Kyle looking all Kyle. Oh, I should have worn my monster hat.
Yeah, but no, you're doing good. Riff on. As we had also, what is this? The Kriegmesser.
Oh yeah,
It's also
Krieg.
it's
the
interesting.
war knife, which is actually pretty similar to, the one we had in the video is that Cold Steel one. Once we can get our images up, we'll talk about that again. Looks like, do you see the comment by Luke Loudon that's in there?
Oh,
Can you bring that up,
Yeah.
Spencer?
Who's that?
Collaborating with
Which one?
Danny. Oh, I lost it.
Oh, Danny
There we go.
Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
You see,
Yeah, he
conversation.
says,
Interesting.
I'd crowdfund that. I would love to meet Danny Trejo, as I have found his work to be very entertaining, and his personal journey of life to be that of interest and savagery. And I would like to have that conversation.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude. Very interesting celebrity. But yes, I would definitely want to be in the movie where he just like takes a gross messer and kills 100 people.
Yes, and I hope it's a zombie movie, because gross messer versus gross zombies.
And the funny thing
Gotta
is
get
also, we're only one person removed from Danny Trejo, because Damon Stith, the president of the Ham Association, actually worked with him on several projects. So we need to just talk to Damon and be like, hey, can you reach back out to Danny Trejo and make this happen?
Can we just have machete
in the
talk,
15th century?
where we just refer to
mean-
everything as a machete, and then we actually put the name of it like right next to it, so everybody knows that we're actually talking about this thing, but we just constantly call it a machete with Danny Trejo talking about the time period? That'd be
I don't see why
amazing.
not. And the
We'll get
best
to
thing
that.
about this all is you ask, and the worst they're going to say is no.
It's no.
It's like, no, that idea is terrible, guys.
That idea is stupid. Well,
We tried.
All right,
Sure.
so we got
All
this one back up again.
and
Excellent.
this is what
This
I
was the one
love.
from the 1500s.
And I love this because it shows a couple of changes, it looks like, through even a very short period of time. Not just the grip, but the hand defense style. And
Mhm.
and
Get that.
do we have a good
ring.
reason as to why it was just one-sided like that? didn't you just
So
go
you
with a
would
straight
carry
blade?
it. Yeah, like this is one that I think is cool. So most people are right-handed, so most rings are on the right-hand side. And if you're walking around with a smaller to medium-sized knife, having it be both would be cumbersome. But just one, you could easily put that on your left side for the cross draw.
Okay.
And
Whereas,
of course,
like-
the ring having
yeah.
the ring at start is still a defending point, so where you can still catch blades and you can still keep it from cutting
Yeah,
your hand
against that top of your hand there. I like it.
Mhm.
off. Mhm.
Interesting.
Now
Yeah,
also,
pretty neat detail.
going
Like
back-
that's definitely a later period thing. If you see that on a sword, it's usually like beyond 1450, more usually like 1500.
This one's a little simpler, which just has like a flange out from one side, so you still have
Yeah.
the keons, but then you have a flange on the outside as well. Once again, so it doesn't poke you while you're wearing it, but still gives you a leverage point, also a way to protect yourself.
Man.
I like the very slight nod to so so they bent the cutting edge just a little bit. They either did that through quench tempering or they did that, or that was built that, was hammered out that way.
So when you say quench tempering, man, can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. So when you like a katana, when you go to actually quench a katana, which actually is what gives it that very very noticeable arch into the rear, right? So what you're doing is, because you've put clay or whatever medium you're using against the spine to create your Hammond, what that also does is creates a differential in the steel when it cools. So when you initially quench it, it goes from being, curved back, curved forward, just a little bit, and you quench it, and you see that curve start and then return into the rear. So it goes in the quench, which is really cool. And proper quench tempering is what
that's like oil quenching or like water quenching or like.
Yeah, so oil quenching is something that didn't really start happening until a little later in time.
That's like stuff people do now.
Yeah, that's stuff
we
people
have like
do
all
now.
the technology. Okay.
Yeah, because we understand the material that you quench it in. Oh, go ahead, Spencer.
We also have a question for Triple B. He's asking, is there any Messer action in media as we see? And Triple B, I don't know if you're meaning more for movies wise or just in general, because we also have a trailer, but our director's cut where we use the Messer just a little bit, which we are putting on social media as well as media. But other than that, I can't think of a whole lot of times in that. Can you think about that, guys?
This is it's really not a loved weapon in movies. Most people don't know about this weapon.
And I think it's because it's ugly. It's not a particularly pretty piece of equipment.
I think
it has a beautiful personality.
Yeah.
I think it's just simple. It's simple. Simple is different from ugly. And sometimes, this is to cut something, like be it a pig in half.
Yes, please. If we had a director's cut splitting a pig, I would be very happy right now. I'm sad that we don't. Maybe we can look into this for the future. But also headshots. What?
All right, hold on. Spencer brought up a new photo. I'm going to come back to that idea in a minute. This one is Lichtenauer, and they have these like gratuitous, gross drawings in there, people being mutilated. And this one's like the single-handed Messer with the buckler in a duel with that cool Talhofer buckler. That guy died.
So can we break this down just a sec? They're saying that in this fight, via this image, at some point, this dude lops this other dude's hand off, cuts his shield in half, and then while he's laying on the ground, just goes ahead and makes it impossible for him to do basic English and math.
See, now, I wish I had some kind of CSI little soundboard, which I'm going to work at this, because I would have put the bum-bum. I'm like, actually, this is when this guy knew he made a mistake. He challenged him
this is what he knew. He chose.
He messed up. And he said he cut off his hand. He's like, oh, my God, you cut off my hand. His head was then open. To which he said, I will then cut you in the head. And when you hit the head, his body just fell through. And then afterwards, what you don't see is the constables came, dragged him off, and then they put chalk where he now stays. So
I think they just sprinkled the chalk, because I'm not sure that writing chalk was particularly useful in this regard, since it's dirt. But if you like crushed up chalk and like sprinkled it over a body, you'd have this really nice detail of like their sprawled nature.
That's really gonna be a part of a video we're gonna do next time, and you get to be forensic chalk person, and you get to crush.
Oh my God, yes!
Around the body.
You got to start working on your puns right now. Like we got to have like murder puns for the historical manuscripts.
Worry not.
Good. I wouldn't doubt it.
Mr. B, you are. Will said beauty and simplicity as well. Go back to that one.
Agreed.
True.
Agreed.
It is very. It is a simple tool.
And Triple B, Messers always look like a Western style katana, which is why I love it so much. I agree, brother. Yes. I think it's great. I think it's a more metal. It has a little slight curve, and you sometimes just got the sun shot. Luke also says the medieval rendition to the double tap. Yes, you cut off their hand, they're looking at you like, why? And then black. So
the double tap, which we don't do.
Now, Triple B, check out Spencer. Bring up image 6 and 7 of the Messers. Those ones really stood out to me. I think that same thing about the katana. And when it came up, I'm like, oh man, Yasuke needs one of these, like a backup.
Ooh, this is which one you're talking about? The
6, 7.
Yeah, in the same folder, Messer 6 or Messer 7. Okay. That one has got like the long elegant style blade, because they're not always mega choppy like in image 1.
Yeah. See, Now, this is made with some. I can't. Well, I would like to say that I think this was probably made as an actual weapon. I think that there's an artisticness to this that I find very, very, very aesthetically pleasing. The twist in the Keon, the markings on the outside edge to almost like the like gradient across. That's beautiful. Having gone in and done the double groove through there is great. I don't know if maybe they were doing it to break some weight out of it.
Yeah, a lot of times it's to break the weight. Now the myth
is that it's like artistic.
Yeah. The myth is that it's a blood groove, that like you stab somebody and the blade will get caught.
Baloney.
This allows the suction. Like, no, not at all. It just makes your sword lighter.
No.
This makes
it a little bit lighter, looks cool, and also the weird thing, which seems counterproductive, is by putting grooves in it, it actually makes it more rigid because now it's stuck in this part and it has to conform metalworks in certain ways. Then also you showed the one. This will be the next one.
This guy. This is what I was thinking about.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I don't know about
that. Reeks of katana. Yeah.
See, I fought a buckler like a dead uncle during last week. Died the same way. Yep, Steve, it happens, man. It totally. As I say with my one friend, it's the chaining weapon of kings and knights, because you mess up and you're dead, but you have to be good. You're not just gunslinging. You're actually, everything's precise. I love buckler fighting.
Steven, how do you like using that buckler? Do you ever use the forward points to grapple people or anything? I've always been a fan.
I've never used the German style of that buckler. I've used always round ones. But I remember our friend Luke Casey has one of those styles, as well as Tedesco, a few other friends. I now want to get one because, especially have that German style, the clothing that.
It matches now. You can recreate our dead guy here.
I'm totally I'm going to be the guy going to chop. No.
He's got the boring buckler. You got to choose cool buckler and death, boring buckler
and life.
Well, okay, boring buckler, and then I take the guy's buckler that's pretty because he's dead.
It's an easy question. Half, dude.
Smart move.
It's already in half. Wolf. It's only a half a buckler. It's crap.
I think it's just the angle, man. I think it's just turned a little bit.
No, man.
No, it was just on the ground.
Shattered in pieces.
Man. No, it is not.
We're going to need some chalk. We need some chalk to get
We need a CSI. Well, it's not Miami.
My computer's being slow. I'm going to show you this. You're wrong. It's not in half.
See, look. Totally cut in half, bro.
It's not cut in half. It's artistic angle.
That's it's just turned.
What? You think it's turned? Oh, okay. I will. It looks like an onion on the face of a crinkly chip right now. I don't understand, but I think I see what you're seeing.
Sorry, guys, we devolved into a "you're wrong." No, you're wrong. Let me show you the picture.
What we were missing
wrong. I just think I don't agree.
We had to say enhance. That's what we were missing. Enhance.
On this computer will not. This is my travel setup, which is being okay so far. We'll see.
Yeah,
we had Will also saying. Let's see what he said.
Blood grooves. They're all ways to reduce weight and add rigidity to the frame of the weapon. There's just no other reason.
It was actually cut and thrust here in Chicago.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, if you
cut and thrust, I know it's been recorded forever, but it's one of the best.
Yeah, if next time you have a cut and thrust like that, we would definitely enjoy to see the video, especially of actively the messer being used. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All the corners, so many corners for blocking, also true. They had trouble in death position, old artists. No, it's just renditions.
That's entirely wrong, man.
My old eyes.
No.
But to get back to the photo we had just had up about that messer the very kind of detailed messer that we had up. I like the fact that the blade's not so chunky. To me, this is very aesthetically pleasing. Getting a nice clean twist like that is not simple.
I don't know, man. I like the thick blade.
That was awesome.
The thick blade's good. This one's like, it's a little. It needs this one needs a little bit more metal on its bones. The other ones, like this one, you're just gonna cut through everything. Like, not saying that the thin ones don't need love too, but
Spencer, you're totally right on this one cutting through everything. I got to tell you guys about this because we haven't brought this up yet, and I feel like it's so important. So this one is the Cold Steel two-handed Grossmesser. That's what we used in the video. Go to the image number 2. The guy that made these, they're made by Cold Steel. That's the company. And the guy that makes the most wild cut test videos I have ever seen. Like, we didn't do this.
Actually,
what in the actual shit is happening?
Someone was saying in the chat as well on my other one, they're like, you guys should do a reaction video on this as well. I'm like, that's actually a great idea, and I think we'll totally have to do a one-in sword reaction.
Something we've got to do.
He gets like a boot, and then he'll stuff meat down into the boot, and then he cuts the boot, and he's like, yep,
right.
we're going to cut right through those toes.
So
we'll get to that. Definitely.
Holy.
And like this one, he like throws it through. He like throws the messer. We didn't throw any swords, Spencer. I think we got to up our game, man.
I don't know. I don't like throwing swords. Ever since The Last Samurai, if I throw a sword, I better have another sword on me. That's all I'm saying. I'm never going to throw a sword if I only have one.
That's a good rule. That's a good rule. Go to the very next one. I took a second one of this guy.
That guy does look bored while he's killing. You're right, Triple D.
Triple B. You know who doesn't? Cold Steel guy. Look at this guy.
That is like one bad night away from somebody who just like murders whole families. Like that's what that face says.
I need to see about the neighbors, Kyle, and see if we can get more of the bamboo so we can do diagonal cuts like this sometime. Because all we have is the stand up. So
that would be a really good one with like this exact messer, because it is such a good cutter. This guy, like, they really do show that you can do anything. And in this case, like, he can enact vengeance on the tatami mats that killed his family.
Yes.
I mean, apparently.
Yeah. He's what was that? Oh, damn. What was his name? Come on, brain.
I can't make it.
He's the guy that like it was one of the original like super serious action star Bronson. He's totally gonna go Bronson on some tatami mats.
I mean,
running his wife down for the 13th time with a random car.
And for you guys that just joined us, we're going to go and not deny you the privilege of seeing our director's cut early, which we're going to post later today. Or actually might be a little bit later wise. Let me remove this real quick, put it back in. Because it's really cool when we get to do all this information, we get to put this in, then we're like, hey, Kyle. Or if Adam's here too, or hey, Kyle, Adam, like, hey, you want to go cut some stuff? And of course they look at me and they're like, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
And this
one doing it right now if I had
it. Which we will. But here, you guys get the chance to see this again. For those of you who are just tuning in, we want to show you that. And here you go. As soon as there we go.
It's trying so hard.
I know. It does its best.
I straight
it's
up
so
love the outfit, man.
It's so cool.
It's like full German sword. Like full German sword.
Oh no, we got the echo again.
Well, yeah, don't talk during this one. Now you can talk. The funniest thing about this part is that you see sometimes where Kyle would just blow it up because it wasn't stuck in hard enough. So a good thing with the Grossmesser, because it's thick with 2 C's, is that it has the mass to just destroy it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was worst case scenario, you just break all of their bones.
Yeah, they get the mace treatment.
Yeah.
This the cutting we were doing here. sometimes the bamboo would be too wide, so any of our upcuts would it just had nothing to grip on. It would shoot out, which sounds like me making excuses. But some of those were also definitely not cutting right.
So it's just an excuse to dress up silly and chop shit. Man.
I'm the one that likes looking cool in every single period. You better believe if we do hop things, I'll be like, sweet, we got the swords. Now I need to get a new outfit as well. Because it's just a good excuse to accessorize. Not gonna lie.
It's the funnest part. We're not gonna wear our t-shirts and jeans when we do this. Crocs and socks.
Not all the time. I mean, sometimes.
Not for a cut test.
Sometimes when we're wearing our merch, we do
for
because
the cut test. Yeah.
Sometimes the merch is good though, so that can protect you in a cut test, but it might not.
Yeah,
true.
I'm not sure.
We make that claim in our video.
I'm almost positive, and now I am not a scientist, but I am 98.43% sure that our t-shirts will actually keep you from getting covered in watermelon when your friend explodes it with a footman's mace.
How many times?
Well, he also said the mace
Every
as well. Time. And I think we're creating a new thing where Luke also said, moving forward, I'm going to say the Grossmesser is the German sword mace. I like that.
Yeah, please, might be right. He's on to
something. Sword mace. And it was really fun. So this bamboo, this is at my parents' house where I'm at right now. I'm doing my away footage. But there's a whole bamboo forest a couple acres away. And I asked our neighbors, can we have as much bamboo? They're like, sure, we hate the stuff. Take as much as you want. So we're cutting it down. We're just taking big piles, go in there, and then we're cutting the swords.
Dude, Spencer, you sent me home with 2 trash bags of bamboo, and I was like, yes. It is all gone. I used all of it. It's done.
Because, and then people don't know, cutting tatami mats, kind of things, this is an expendable resource that costs money to get. So when we were free things to cut that cuts well, yes, please. Oh, we also got
Antoinette. Hey, friend. Good to see you.
Antoinette Harris. Hey. Thanks for tuning in. Also, he says, the shirts slowly make you cooler. The shirts do make you cooler.
Asterisk about that one, too.
Yeah, there's a percentage there. I mean, I haven't done the math yet, and I ain't no mathematist, but
you keep on saying that. So figure it out. Believe it. I thought you were a mathematist. You lied. That's what we
Negative. Needed. I do know that with whiskey, all things funny. So,
so Spencer, if someone wants a T-shirt, how do they get them?
Well, actually, why not I'll just show them the whole thing. There's no reason to we might as well show them the thing. We got 2 weeks left if we're doing our little promotion at the moment.
It'll actually be 3 weeks, Spencer, more like 4
Is it 3 weeks now?
Yeah, because it has to go past the month.
Oh, good call.
So if you guys like what you're seeing, you want to see us chop, smash, destroy, crush, and be foolish about more things, please pick up a t-shirt.
Video.
One, they make you cooler by a percentage that we haven't calculated yet, but it's very obvious. You'll tell as soon as you put it on, you're cooler. And 2, you don't get nearly as splattered with watermelons when you smash them with stuff.
That may not actually be true. There's a lot of watermelon splashage. As much as we tried to stop it from doing so.
I'm literally still trying to clean it off the face of my garage. That is how much watermelon splash happened.
We got a question from Antoinette. Yes, they do. They come in all sizes, so we could find that no problem.
Yep, we can square you away, kiddo.
What was this? I missed the question.
Do they come in plus?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All sizes. Under the rainbow.
Oh yeah, that would be really interesting. Is to do a ballistic gel dummy chop test. There have been a couple of really, really great shows that have covered that, and man, there's nothing funnier than just burying an axe in a in a skull wrapped in ballistic gel.
Yeah, I would like to do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, exactly. That's what we want to do sometime.
Yeah, how more of a wide triangle shaped blade might be different than a diamond shaped blade. I would love to see that data. Same strike, just different targets, and just see how different it gets. Or are they both so destructive It doesn't matter.
It's just so fucking terrifying that we're just like,
let's get like the censor bar on the contest.
yeah, eek value 9.
Almost there. Sorry, guys, hang in there.
What you pulled up,
man?
What you pulled up?
On Thursday. We appreciate that.
I'm going to spend the rest of the day on this Cold Steel website, on Cold Steel's YouTube channel, just laughing. It's going to be amazing.
It's unreal. Like, we 100% have to do a reaction video of just like all together. Like, what is that? Because I can't put it into words. It's its own wild thing. They go through everything.
The Cold Steel Special Forces shovel. Please, we need to do that.
I'm in.
I'm just seeing the clip, the Cold Steel Special Forces shovel. I'm just seeing the clip there of like the thumbnail, and it's just this dude whacking a pig skull with a shovel, and I'm laughing, trying not to be loud.
Oh, all right, so here we go. Without further ado, this will give you some information on our Patreon commercial as well.
Hey, you. Do you like swords? Do you like wandering around? Do you like explosions? Then you need a Wandering Sword Project t-shirt. Our exclusive Season 1 t-shirt is available to our Pathfinder Patreons. Comes in black, gray, and cool.
I think I had something in my throat. Head on over to our Patreon to pick up one of these limited edition shirts. Grab yourself the perfect tool to protect yourself during cut tests. Yeah, that won't actually work. The shirt purchases and all Patreon donations will go straight to funding our new season content and bringing you more sword videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications on our brand new season of content. All right, get your shirt now and wander on.
Yeah.
Shink.
I love it. So I have a question about
more things.
the size of this weapon and the functionality of that.
Yes.
Like we were talking about earlier, it seems to me the mass of this weapon indicates that it was used, to me indicate that it was used against a hard target, like armor. But as we were talking about it, the conversation led to it wasn't always used that way. It was actually more common that it was used against an unarmored opponent, which just makes this the most overkill sword I can think of off the top of my head. Like, yeah, the other guy's over there with he's over there with a rapier. He's got he's an excellent fencer. He's got a beautiful style, and you're just like, crush. Now your weapon is bent in half, and crush. Now you have no collarbone or left arm or kidney. Like,
yeah, it's a brutal weapon, dude. Like, even the elegant ones are like mean bad boy katanas. You're gonna chop something with it.
Yeah, stuff's coming off. Like, this isn't mess around. That's inappropriate.
Let's not mess around here.
Let's not mess her around here. That joke was gross, and I don't like it.
Boo, now you're trying too hard. Boo.
Anyway, in a lot of duels and stuff like that at the time, overkill is underrated. I absolutely agree. Friend of the show forever, bro.
Yeah, this guy's comments now have priority forever.
1,000%.
Like, when you absolutely positively have to make sure it's dead.
Yeah. Like, here's a fair question for a couple of people here who have been on boar hunts with spears.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take a messer as your backup weapon?
Actually, that would be a wonderful backup weapon, in my opinion. Spencer's shaking his head no over there.
I'd say no. First of all, if I can't kill it with my spear, that part, you're going to hit that part because I want the range. However, the secondary weapon that I'd want, and this is after using my Jambia, which is a bigger dagger, and I was trying to stab it, the ribs actually work, and I don't want to cleave this board. I mean, if I'm trying to like die or live, yes, but I want to take that pelt home. So I don't want to ruin as much. So I'm going to use more of like an awl or something with a longer point so I can get it in between the bones and I can actually get to its vitals. So I would want a longer, like just more of like a, I just call them the ball daggers, like
Bollocks dagger, yeah.
daggers.
Yeah,
Bollocks dagger. I'd use more of a
Bollocks,
bollocks dagger. Because ribs work. Because after I stabbed the boar with the spear and I took out my Jambia and I was trying to stab it and it's so broad, the ribs were like, nope, nope, nope. And I was like, oh no.
Now
So
I just feel bad. I'm like, oh God, I want you to die.
I had to
I
borrow
get where
these
Spencer's
skills.
coming
Bollocks
from,
dagger.
and he's making excellent points, but I'm not swayed because one reason only. If I get my spear, which I've done the boar hunt with the spear, it's terrifying and awesome, and it's such a weird experience. But if I miss with that spear and it's coming at me and I'm using my backup weapon, I will be thinking 2 words, oh and shit. And I'm going to go, oh shit! That's going to be the elegance of my move. And I want it to be a disgusting, gross messer.
I don't know. We'll see when we go to the boar hunt, once we do the wandering sword. But I like the other dagger. You good with the spear. Because the dogs are going to have it.
Don't find out, man. I'm good with my spear. That's my weapon. I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't suck with a spear, but I will say that as a backup weapon, I would like something that's going to do the job the first time. And I can say, without a lot of doubt, I think the messer would definitely split a pig skull properly to the point of 1, not able to speak English or do math, and 2, not going to gore me to death. But pigs
I
don't.
can't wait till we watch those Cold Steel videos together, Fox. You're gonna really like them. You're gonna really like them.
Match that one guy. You make an example of one person, they're not going to get you. That's important too. You also really remember single-edged weapons are easier to use to make.
Easier to make. Absolutely easier to make.
If it was a moose, then the answer is yes. And if it was a moose, that's the one where I'm going to be like weapon trebuchet. I'm going to use anything else because I do not want to fight a moose.
Look, you guys may not know Antoinette, but I do, and she has done work like in the furthest of the norths of the Canada that there is to go north, in places you can only get to when it's warm enough and with a plane. Like, if you're up there and you're dealing with a moose and your only tool you have is a messer, God,
you're better off than not.
True.
They're dire tree horses. I don't know how else to say it. They're huge. They're terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
They're scary. Absolutely scary.
I will throw a rock at a bear. I don't care. That's fine. I will run a bear off with a rock and another rock in my hand. No problem. Happy to do it. I will run.
Like grizzly. It depends on the size of the bear, man. Some of those bears, I'm like, no.
Good point.
Black bear, sure.
Black
brown bear,
rock. Brown bear.
Grizzly.
Polar bear.
Leave. Polar bear. I'm out.
Polar bear.
I'm out. I don't do cold good. I'm leaving.
As we're riffing on this very much so. I thought we have met. It's good to see you again too. I wasn't sure.
Yes,
we need to do a wandering sword. We'll have it kind of like an animal book, and we'll just be like, "Could you beat this?" And they'll have a polar bear pop up. We're like, "No, or with what?"
Yeah, what weapon do you think could even the playing field?
Let us know in the comments if you guys would like to see that.
And this animal.
Interesting. And then we might actually make it happen. At least with the boar, not with the moose, because screw that. No amount of money is going to get for the moose.
We can get like a Dungeons and Dragons chart, like roll on this one, that's what weapon you get. Roll on this one, that's what animal you get.
And I dig it. Absolute.
Well, we're getting to the end of the time. We want to say
we're about at 45 minutes, Spencer.
Today, we really appreciate it. It's time 44 minutes and 22 seconds has already flown by. If you have any other questions, please let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe. We'll also be posting our Director's Cut video later, so make sure to look for that later in the week, as well as take a look at that Patreon video. Even though we showed it here, it'd be awesome if you can look at that, give us some more views. Kyle, you have anything else?
That's it, man. We've got some exciting stuff coming up as a project. the Wandering Sword Project as a whole. We've got a seminar that you're doing very shortly, Spencer. You haven't mentioned that at all.
As a Hammond instructor, historical African martial arts instructor, I have my first actual seminar at Chicago. It's going to be at the Forteza group, as well as the same thing as the Forteza group. We're going to be having a little bit more flyers out there later. It's going to be a 3-hour seminar. Kyle's going to fly and help me teach that as well. It's going to be a great time. We'll get some pictures. It's going to be awesome. We also have some interesting projects in the future. We got another fight lined up. Adam, do you have anything going on?
Not currently. We just had our first big practice back from all the whole COVID mess, which went fantastically. I was really happy to see a lot of traveling folks. And if you guys do want to travel and make your local practices, or travel and make a practice that is running now that you haven't got the chance to, please do that. Let's get the society rolling again. We've been on pause for too long. If it is safe and acceptable for your level of, if you've got your shots, you got all your stuff, do it. Let's get back out there. Let's have a good time. And if there's more stuff you want to see from Wandering Sword and Shop Talk, drop it in the comments. Let us know something interesting you got. We're here for you. Let's smash pig skulls with ball peen hammers. I don't care. Whatever you want. We're here for you.
We would use a medieval hammer for the record.
Yeah, or whatever.
Medieval hammer.
You know what I mean. Look, I got excited. All right.
But physics are important. And actually, last thing I'll leave us with, we're actually going to be doing a team up with Marquette University soon in the near future with the Wandering Sword. We're going to be doing some physics with swords and cutting, and as well as some other things going on. So we're actually getting into some of the academic field. So there's lots of good things coming through, and we can't wait to share it with you along the way. Yep. So as always, wander on and cut. Take it easy and be safe. Bye.